Yeah.
Well, that was an introduction.
Fuck you.
And immediately clicked off the video. Yep.
Holy shit, everyone's here again. What the fuck is happening?
I'm
Oh my
not
goodness.
dead. My attempt failed.
Well, that was
Yeah,
dark.
the
Hi, I'm Llytic.
I'm Tom.
I'm a piece of cheese.
I thought you were going to say piece of shit, and I was going to agree with you.
Nope. It's just
I
I was thinking about number 15 and I had to stop myself. We're not doing that again.
Number 15.
Boy.
Zane's cheese fetish.
I mean, I
The
did look up
last thing you want to
cheeseburgers.
find in your Swiss cheese. Someone else's dick.
Oh no.
Anyway, we're reading
with
Atlanta Nights.
We're
starting
still
on
on this.
Wait, what chapter?
37.
38.
37.
Page 257.
All right.
Who the
Bet.
fuck said 38?
Zane.
Tom,
I'm
I
asking
did
where you
not.
got that number.
because I was on 38 and I thought we were on 38, so I just said 38.
God damn it.
Yeah, shut up, man.
No,
Oh, you need to. Well, if you're not going to shut up, then read.
I would if you'd stop interrupting me.
I'm not. Continue.
Yes, you are.
So, how was y'all's week?
God damn it! My vocal cords are already shot. I ate an entire tub of ice cream earlier.
Oof.
Oh, you drown your sorrows in ice cream too.
No. I just felt like eating ice cream.
Ah, okay.
You might want to see psychiatric help.
Probably.
Chapter 37.
Anyways, as I was saying,
Motherfucker!
Okay, I'm done.
Woo! It was one of those days that just made every pore in your body sweat. So everything was so slick, so that your left cheek marks when you stood up from the vinyl. So that you left cheek marks when you stood up from vinyl seats. The kind you tried to wipe away quickly with your hands so that no one would notice. But they had to notice because you had those stripes on your thighs now. It was a hot like only Atlanta could get. Callie Archer would never forget the kind of hot that day was. Yeah, I hate it whenever I'm like, oh fuck. Like, summer is short season, but at the same time, like, you end up getting your legs stuck to, like, plastic seats and shit.
You just wear
if you-
pants to fix that.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
I was about to say, I wear jeans, so that doesn't really happen.
I'm sorry. Sky's clear. Thighs are in gear.
Or wear shorts that are as long as your thighs, question mark?
No! I'm showing those babies off.
Okay. Not going to comment on that. It was the
I know
day...
you're jealous.
I was just going to say it was super flat, and I don't know what you're flaunting, but, like, okay. It was the day she knew that all she was to Henry Archer was a trinket, a bauble, another art piece like that weird statuary that lined the foyer of the mansion. She might be no more than another car for the showroom he built out in the barn, another train for on the train tracks he ran around the tree at Christmas, and across the living room and down the hall and through the party room and up the stairs and even to the bedroom. Hi, welcome to this episode where Tom has a stroke while he's reading.
I was gonna
Through the
say,
window, through the wall.
the sweat drips down my balls.
I've just worked 5 days straight, 9 hours each day, getting up early every morning, and like, so I'm here.
Like, that just got worse and worse as you tried to read it, and it's not even the paragraph's fault this time.
Nope, that was totally my fault. I will own up to that. Anyway, I'm gonna try to be better this time. Trains and cars, and he had a lot of model airplanes too, like the plane he used to chase those dogs at the park, the fact healing over with a heart attack when the World War II kamikaze.
Kamikaze!
World War II kamikaze plane chased it around in circles.
Like, it's bad enough that we haven't talking about him giving a dog a heart attack.
I mean, oh, jeez. That just made my day, not gonna lie.
Gotta watch out for those kamikazes, guys.
Yeah, man, they're commies. That's the worst thing that could happen. Like,
What's worse than a
Oh.
communist?
A capitalist.
Kamikaze.
oh, jeez. Oh, that was so good.
Oh, God.
It had been so hot. Callie came home furious that the air in the Mercedes couldn't keep up. She'd been stuck in traffic on the Beltline and found no one had thought to turn the air on in the mansion. She felt desperate to cool off. She'd rushed for the patio, thinking to throw herself into the pool. Versace dress, or is that right?
Versace.
I said it right the first time. Yay! Versace dress and all. When she saw them, actually just him, she didn't realize he was alone at first. If she had seen he wasn't alone, she might not have made the first assumptions she did.
Henry was naked, masturbating, struggling to maneuver over a lawn chair. His butt cheeks clenched and dimpled as they moved, like he was trying to pull himself free. He'd gotten his dick stuck in the slats of the lawn chair.
I think that's exactly what happened, actually.
For half an instant, she thought maybe he'd rolled over while sunbathing and caught his member in the lawn chair. Fuck, I just made the joke.
Yep.
She realized his age was beginning to show in the coarse hairs and wrinkles. She was on the verge of busting out.
Hey, Dut.
Bursting out.
Into laughter.
Everything okay, Henry? She trilled in that false voice she used when she was trying to hide her true feelings from him.
He stopped
This feeling
moving.
being laughter. Fucking dumbass got his dick stuck in the chair again.
Is laughter a feeling?
I don't know. I mean, friendship's an emotion, so.
Is it?
What?
This human emotion called friendship, man.
Okay.
Fucking hell.
References.
Zane, it's your line.
You hear
Yes.
that? That's the reference going over my head.
Oh,
You
okay.
know what the reference should be, fucknut.
He stopped moving and seemed to at last pull himself free and turned, revealing that muscular chest and thick neck of a bodybuilder far younger than 60. Except he was 60 and kept working out. That's what had attracted her to him. A millionaire to marry was a dime a dozen, but millionaires who were built like that? Well, that's when she saw her husband wasn't alone.
She let
out a small,
Oh, yeah.
horrified gasp and tossed her shining black tresses over one bared shoulder.
Get out of here, Callie shrieked.
The woman beneath him smiled at her saucily. Oh my.
Oh my god.
And slowly rolled from beneath Henry, her green eyes flashing out her defiance as she threw fire-red tresses over her shoulders to reveal breasts so perfect they could have only been done by a pro.
The fact that the person, like, okay, I'm not the kind of person who would be, like, intentional, like, knowingly home-wrecking someone, but if I was, my reaction to being caught wouldn't be smiling at the person. Oh, hey, how you doing? Just banging your husband. You come here often? Oh, right, that's right. This is your house, technically. I guess you do come here often.
And I bet you come often with this guy.
I mean, not as often as me, but...
Oh, jeez.
Henry! Did you buy her those? Callie shrieked.
Callie, it's not what you think.
They're natural!
Henry,
I didn't buy her anything.
Henry exclaimed as he stood still, slick with the heat of his passion dripping water like he just hopped out of the pool, but Callie knew it was sweat because it was so hot, and his hair wasn't wet.
But wouldn't his hair be wet if it was sweat?
You
Maybe.
take me for an idiot? She asked.
The woman nodded and giggled. Yes,
Jesus Christ.
yes I do. As she sauntered toward the floral Indian pink and green dress she'd thrown over the bar. Colors that with the red hair were bound to look hideous. Yeah. What could Henry have seen at her? She had freckles, and she looked like she hadn't even tried to cover them.
Okay,
What's wrong
first
with
of all,
freckles?
freckles are adorable. So screw you.
And her hips were too wide.
Again, not really seeing a problem here.
I mean, unless I could see certain situations where, yes, that is a problem, but that has to get, like, really ridiculous. Like, DeviantArt fetish territory ridiculous. She looked like a good brood mare, but not like a thoroughbred. Callie was a thoroughbred.
Jeez.
She had hooves. Sleek and finely muscled. Soft where she needed to be. Powerful where she needed to be. Now Callie noticed the empty wine bottles upended in the coal car of the train. Of a train? Oh god, is the little model train going around the track with the bottle in it?
It's possible.
The empty glass is set in one of the empty grain cars so that if he flicked a switch, it could run out to the kitchen. Aw, I was hoping that it was still going. Like, choo-choo!
Here comes the wine train.
Oh god, I wanted to start singing the Thomas the Tank Engine theme, but I couldn't remember the words.
Do, 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 do. It doesn't have words.
No, it does.
Does it?
Yes!
Wait,
Fuck
is
it,
that
I'm pulling up the lyrics.
The
Oh,
train
jeez.
engine opening lyrics.
Is it like the modern day Thomas the Tank Engine with the creepily animated faces, or is it like the one that I actually
It's
watched?
the original.
Four, there's six.
I didn't know it
and
had words.
Shutting
How did
trucks
that
and
Why would there
rolling
not be
crates,
lyrics?
red and green
I
and
thought it was
brown
just.
and
I
blue.
thought it was just.
They're the really
instrumental.
You
useful
also
to
got the
all
lyrics
the
to
different roles
Africa
like
completely wrong.
Mounted muskets or far
Okay.
away.
Down the hills and round the bends, Thomas and his friends. Thomas, he's the cheeky wet one. James is vain, but lots of fun. Percy pulls the mail on time. Gordon throws down the line. Emily really knows her stuff. Henry toots and huffs and puffs. Edward wants to help and share. Toby, well, let's say he's square. They're two, they're four, they're 6 and 8. Shunting trucks in hauling freight. Red and green and brown and blue. They're really, fuck. I was about to say they're really useful to the crew.
Yeah. Okay. Despite you not
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Despite you possibly being able to be on par with a frog in a bucket on carrying the tune, I did actually recognize
I wasn't
the lyrics.
singing it, I was just saying it.
Sounds like you're singing. Okay. Right.
Oh, God. All right. The clothes were scattered, tossed all over the piano and deck furniture and bar. The woman fished a hot pink bra out of the swimming pool with the skimmer, maneuvering the pole and acting pole like a pro. Nice. And acting as if she hadn't noticed Henry or Callie.
It was patio, not piano. Just so we're
No one cares.
I care. Well, you know what? That actually fits in with that. Never mind. My line. I'll call you, the woman said as she casually walked across the patio, carrying her dripping bra over her shoulder and grabbing her dress.
Excuse me, it says piano.
He read stilettos clicked on the marble as she paced down the hall of the mansion lined with train tracks.
Choo-choo! Zaid, stop playing Pixelmon for 5 seconds.
I'm not playing Pixelmon. I'm trying to find the lyrics online, but people only seem to have it without the lyrics.
There's the Biggie Smalls version.
Well, yeah, but shut up.
So find the Biggie Smalls version.
Let's see. I'll call you, right? Is that where I am?
No, the one after that.
I'm sorry, Callie. I didn't expect you. Henry grimaced. His eyes touched her hair.
What?
Ugh.
Ew!
Following the
That
curve
would
of her
hurt.
glossy black mane to that bared shoulder. Nay. If she took one more deep breath, it would fall, certainly, and reveal a breast that had yet to begin to show its age.
Henry. That's pretty clear to me. Callie pointedly didn't look at him. Instead, she was looking at his groin. The offending part now less bold. How long has this been going on? Years, she stated.
Really, my dear, just this once. You're all I need. I rejoice every day that a woman so voluptuous, so incredibly wonderful could want me. I beg that you will forgive me. Stay beside me as I enter my golden years. Okay, yeah, okay, so...
Fuck you, she says as she flips him off and leaves.
As she kicks him in the bear dick.
Oh, that would
real.
hurt.
With her apparent horse legs.
That would really hurt.
Oh god, it turns out she's an Impusa.
Ugh.
Not even like a centaur, but an Impusa, so she just has like horse legs instead of human legs. Not like an entire horse body instead of a lower half, just horse legs.
Just specifically horse legs.
Just the back legs of a horse.
Yeah, I know.
Callie felt the cold and hard place inside her vagina begin to warm a little bit, trying to force it back inside her to cling to the anger she should feel for the way he wronged her. Right here in her own house. Well, actually his house, but like hers because they lived here together.
She's younger than me, Callie told him angrily.
Well, that's probably why he was with her, just saying. I
Jesus.
didn't even notice. You have to understand we were drunk. I was at the polo club and I had a few too many drinks. So now you're not drunk. Okay, man. Story's not really lining up here. I saw Richard there and we got to talking and one thing led to another and they kept handing me drinks and I don't know if she'd been there with Richard or he knew her, but suddenly there she was. I should have known better and she was there. I don't even remember her name. I couldn't even call out to her when we had sex because I didn't know it. And you weren't when that horrible fiery beast you know so well roared up from within and consumed me. Okay. It was wrong. It was so wrong, Callie. I beg you for your forgiveness, he offered.
I don't know why, but that horrible fiery beast just makes me flashback. Fuck, which of the Harry Potter books was it in which, like, Harry started having feelings for Ginny?
That was, like, after the Goblet of Fire, I believe.
I know it was after the Goblet of Fire.
I'm trying to think which one.
Was it Order of the Phoenix?
I think it was Half-Blood Prince, because Order of the Phoenix, he actually dated, what's her name?
Cho.
Yeah,
Right.
Not Jenny, but like so.
I think it was Wesley Cho,
something like that. But he dated her in that one, and it did not work out, and it failed
Yeah.
miserably. And that was a painful part that I was reading.
because the horrible fiery beast just reminds me of like the different times in which like J.K. Rowling was trying to narrate the fact that Harry was dealing with feelings of arousal. The horrible reptilian beast built up within him. It's like, oh god, this is just using a metaphorical psychological snake as a metaphor for his erection, isn't it?
I really need to reread the Harry Potter series. I read them once.
I avoid skipping that part because it is painful to deal with J.K. Rowling trying to write the romantic emotions of a teenage boy.
Even great writers have their flaws.
Could it have been the drinks? He did appear flushed in the face, and there was an empty wine bottle. And how many drinks have they had at the polo club?
All of them.
Well, I mean, that's a way to go out.
I mean, there's no other way to go drinking. I mean, if you don't wake up passed out on the couch in a maid's dress, I think you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, see, this is why I don't drink.
This is why you should drink.
No. I'd rather have memories of a night well spent, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me? It's a lot more entertaining trying to figure out what the fuck happened.
I would also love to remember cheating on my wife.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, Tom. You now have a point due to Zane.
Wow, is this what it feels like to be relevant?
Yes, Krillin.
I actually was referring to that because I've watched episode 60 parts 1 and 2, and they are fantastic. So,
Oh, for real.
I'm not done ripping this butterfly's wings off yet. Red flag!
oh my, that was
Don't
so good.
Don't worry, I'll save your dad for last. You hear that, Piccolo? I don't get it.
Hey, King Kai, what should I do with Cell?
Is for priceless the look upon your faces.
Oh my
Is
gosh, that
for
was like-
extinction, death of
all your
your
puny
races. Ours
Of
the
a
revolution that has been televised. F is for how fucked you are. Now allow me to reprise.
dead Trunks.
Well, great. Now you just spoiled it for anyone who hasn't seen that part.
Okay,
Congratulations, Tom, you monster!
If anyone doesn't know what happens in Dragon Ball Z, they've been living in a thicker rock under a thicker.
Are you kidding
rock
me? I've never watched actual Dragon Ball Z. I've only watched the abridged series because I have no interest in regular Dragon Ball Z.
I only played the games.
And yet, did you still know that Trunks died in that episode, even if you haven't watched it?
No.
Okay.
No. Why the fuck would I know that?
I thought Trunks lived through all this shit because.
It's Dragon Balls.
Anyway, Filicide.
Yes.
You hurt me, Henry Archer. She stated regally. Don't ever do it again.
Henry could see from her
Or I'll
eyes.
stuff your dick in a jar.
Oh, no, please don't remind me of that.
Henry could see from her eyes that she was softening her stance, that he was pull her back and corral her as he had every time she'd started to bolt from the paddock.
What is with the horse metaphors?
That was what I was gonna say. Jeez. She wasn't a filly anymore.
God
Not
damn
like
it.
when he first spied her, but she wasn't an old nag yet either. He liked it when she decorated his arm, when her laugh rose up into the chandeliers during parties, when she screamed out her ecstasy when he rode her into the wee hours. She was still a fine mare, and he wasn't ready to put her out.
Why?
For one, she would cost him too much. Man, I hate everyone in this book.
Breaks her leg. Ah, shit, we gotta send her to the glue factory.
Hey.
Callie watched his face change from fear to one caught in a very great lie, to the defiance of one thinking how they might defend themselves, to that tender look his face always turned when they had just made love.
The only problem is he had just fucked someone else.
Hey.
She forgave him. How could she not? I could think of several ways how not.
Like walking away from this man.
Or kicking him in the dick with your horse legs.
Or arranging a car accident that kills him. Oh,
Or
wait.
punching him in the dick with your horse arms.
Or biting him in the dick with your horse teeth.
Ah, God, why? Ah.
Well, it would cause him to bleed out pretty quickly, just saying.
I'd rather have it done more like that one scene in I Spit on Your Grave in which that just gets cut off with a knife. And then she just, sits outside the room listening to opera music to drown out the noise of him screaming. Anyway, losing him would be worse than anything she could imagine. If he died, that might be worse. Or not. At least dying would be something accidental. Or at least not his fault. Not like leaving her for a younger woman. A woman with horrid tasted clothes, freckles, and red hair!
Okay. There is nothing wrong with red hair. Just saying.
This person just hates gingers.
I mean, every member of my species, for the most part, has black hair, so I can't really speak on that. Anyway. It's not like she thought she couldn't bear to live without him. She probably wouldn't much notice, and she didn't want to have to go through all this again to ensure his security.
Does your species not have hair dye?
Well, I mean, sometimes we have hemo patches.
Hemo patches?
Yeah, like sometimes it's like that weird patch of color in the hair that's the same as her blood color.
Or you could just hair dye.
Yeah, but most of that's made out of baby blood, so.
The more I learn about your species, the more I wonder.
I mean, the majority of paints and dye on Alterni are literally just made up of ground up grubs, so.
Oof.
That's, are they failed grubs? Or?
Yeah, they're the ones that didn't get Elusis.
It's time to call.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's just like how you get cold if you haven't properly taken care of your lawn ring.
I mean, if
your Lucis dies.
And if you consider death that way, then maybe. But like, okay, moving on. But
It's
she
just
never.
part of life.
But she never forgot the important lesson she had learned, that she was like any other favorite toy that, when put away by a child, and that child sees a newer, brighter, fancier toy right there where they can reach it, and if the child's judgment was impaired by too much wine, might forget all about the absent toy.
Drunk toddlers.
That was the lesson of the Atlanta Heat. She could never again sweat without thinking of that.
God, every time she breaks a sweat, she'll be thinking about her husband cheating on her.
What a horrible existence. She deserves much, much worse.
Chapter 38.
Zane, your line.
I suppose you're wondering why I've come here, said Arthur Nance, seriously peering up the glasses he really needed and only wore because they made him look more intellectual and impressive, down to the quivering cerulean depths of the glistening orbs of a
Cerulean.
beautiful young lady sitting in the dusty brown chair in front of his desk, which was also brown. Rain was wearing a black suit today that had the curves of her body, which were in all the right places, mind you, and in a complete defiance of the scorching, humid Georgia summertime air that turned almost everyone's hair into a mass of unappealing frizzles or else handfuls of limp stuff that resembled nothing more than a masses of overcooked spaghetti. She wore long, luxurious hair, the more colorful of plenty, sun-ripened, whose... Fuck!
I'm blaming that one on the
Christ, this is like just one fucking sentence.
Yes, it is.
I'm blaming that on the paragraph and not you.
Well, because I heard him cutting out at the beginning, and I'm wondering if you heard that too, Tom.
Yeah, I did.
Should I start over?
Oh,
No.
God.
No,
Yes.
please don't.
Yes. All one breath.
I can't do that in one breath. Anyways, where was I? Let's see. Handfuls of limp stuff that resembled nothing more than masses of overcooked spaghetti. She wore her long, luxurious hair, the color of perfectly sun-ripened wheat, loose and falling in shimmering golden cascades around her dainty shoulders. Her slender yet perfectly formed legs were hidden by Nance's desk, but he knew they were there.
Oh, God.
I can't see your legs. Are they there? Are you okay?
Like he's like a toddler. He has no concept of object permanence.
Oh boy. Do you think
Where did your legs go?
Legs? Where'd they go?
Yes,
Why do you have no legs?
Are you a criminal? Pulls a gun on her.
She puts like her hands in front of her face, and he like completely forgets she's there. Where'd she go? Here I am.
World's greatest detective, everyone.
Batman.
Yes.
Oh, God, Batman, but with no concept of object permanence.
Am I the only one who thinks Adam West
It's-
Batman is best Batman?
Yes.
I don't care enough about Batman to have an opinion.
I'm more of a Superman guy myself, but I really like the old Adam West Batman TV shows because they were just so cheesy.
Forgot his name. The first Batman movies obviously had the best Batman.
Val Kilmer?
Was it Val? I thought Val Kilmer was the one in the Schumacher ones.
I think he was in the first ones, and then let's see.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was in the first two.
And then it was I can't remember the other guy's name.
And
I know
then for 3, it was Val Kilmer, and then for 4, wait.
There was that one guy. Let's see. I can't remember.
Fuck it. Nance knew perfectly well that Irene was the last person in this whole tangled mess he should be having such crazy perverted thoughts about. I mean, even if she wasn't half my age, there was the involvement with Henry, and now he's dead, and she's supposed to be in mourning. Besides, there was the whole nature of the suspicions he'd been having about certain things, which, of course, was the whole reason he'd called Irene in to talk to him today, which had nothing to do with the hidden passion that lay hidden under that prim black skirt, but was a matter of much seriousness and import. Vagina.
I honestly think Ben Affleck actually did a really good job as Batman.
I don't even really.
He was an okay Batman.
He was better than everyone thought he was going to be, and
And now he has to be replaced due to sexual assault.
wonder who they're going to get for that. I don't know. Yes,
honestly, like, there's only been 4 movies in like the DC cinematic universe, and I'm already tired of it.
It's just
They're all the same,
they're
except for Wonder Woman.
They're trying in vain to catch up with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They would
there's the part where they're trying to do like what Marvel's doing, and then there's the fact that the stuff they're doing on their own is just dark, edgy, early 2000s shit.
Yeah, and
it's so like, everything feels the same. It's like, okay, drab color palettes, got it.
Yeah, and
then the Wonder Woman movie came out, and that one was surprisingly good because it was a movie that had some actual emotion behind it.
Yeah, and there was color too. Like, that was also really cool.
I mean, sure, the villain was absolute shit, but
I don't remember the.
Exactly.
Yeah. There we go.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude posing as Ares. All I remember is the character reactions because they were wonderful.
I love that. I don't remember the villain. Exactly.
Yeah, no, it turned out to be Ares, but yeah, no, the villain was terrible.
He just kept giving this big speech about how man's unsavable and all that. It's like, yeah, we've heard it all before. I mean, I could easily get this by just reading like a teenage emo kid's diary.
Okay, if I wanted to hear about the hopeless state of man, I would turn back to my early days.
If I wanted to know about the hopeless state of man, I'd turn on the news.
Ugh,
no, wait, that's the hopeless state of the presidency. Whoops!
A little bit of both in the world.
Anyway.
Okay. Yes, I am, Irene murmured liquidly, gazing up at the doctor.
It's Zane. No, wait, it's your turn. Whoops.
Yeah,
yes.
Fuck you.
My dyslexia kicked in.
Is that how dyslexia works?
I mix everything up.
Okay, I mean...
My mind literally had the order in it, and then it flipped it.
Ah, okay.
So, because I flipped Zane from being before me to after me.
Okay. Well, he technically is after you, but he's also after me, so...
Don't you start this shit with me.
Goodness, but he was in good shape for a man his age. Just look at the kawaii... Oh, my...
Kawaii? Kawaii? What?
Kawaii.
And I just died a little inside.
Kawaii sugoi desu.
Just look at the kawaii way his shirt fit him. She could just imagine the six-pack he had under there.
Nothing's more adorable than a six-pack.
Apparently being a doctor kept you in good shape. Or maybe he just played a lot of golf.
Yes.
Golf does not put you into shape.
Golfing muscles.
Well, obviously it doesn't, because if it did, I mean, insert joke about Donald Trump's terrible health here.
Well, I've been thinking a lot about what's been happening lately, ever since the accident.
That kawaii car wreck.
The kawaii car wreck. Nance proclaimed, rising from his seat and pacing restlessly around the desk, twiddling a pen absently. It's always seemed funny to me that Bruce Lucent survived the crash and Henry Archer didn't. He watched Irene carefully, like a hawk, to see if she'd blush or have any other reaction to the mention of Archer's death. But she looked as calm.
I'm so embarrassed.
She looked as calm and smooth as an unused jar of peanut butter before someone stuck the knife in the creamy and I knocked the crunchy because her skin's not lumpy like the lumps you get in the crunchy peanut butter.
Don't know why that's relevant, but okay.
I don't think it's strange. I don't think it's that strange, commented Irene with a shrug, tossing a gleaming lock of hair over her shoulders with one perfectly manicured hand. It's just the way things are, you know? Sometimes people live and sometimes they don't, especially in car crashes. Yeah, sometimes someone gets made into a jar of paint.
The circle of life.
It's the...
Well, I think it's strange, retorted Nance.
Zane!
What?
Your line.
Which one?
I know you think it's strange.
I know you think it's strange, Irene snapped. You just said it.
You dumb fuck.
Dumbass.
Don't you want to know why I think it's strange? No.
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 Fine, Irene sighed. I guess I should let you tell me. She was starting to get bored, and Arthur Nance was starting to look a lot less hot, even if he did have that sexy little mustache.
There is no case in which I've ever heard a mustache by itself be described as sexy.
Yeah.
Okay, Nance said. Fuck, that's not the word.
Began.
Began, setting down the pencil before he stabbed himself with its point. He did this once, and I meant he couldn't work for days. It hurts like crazy. I went to the doctor, and they had to dig the point out and everything. I think he could die of lead poisoning if they don't get it out the point out. He clasped his muscular hands behind his back and commenced to pace around the small, windowless office. There was a vase of flowers on his desk, and the petals were slowly falling off of them. It's about your father.
My father, queried Irene, looking surprised. Obviously, this wasn't something she was expecting the handsome doctor to bring up. Arthur stared at her. She did look guilty, or just, did she look guilty or just surprised? Despite his unusually extreme perspicaciousness,
I think.
Perspicaciousness in matters of judging the human
physiognomy. Physiognomy. I don't want to spoil anything, but I think these are all made up words.
Why do I keep getting them?
I don't know. I kind of wish I was getting them.
Yeah, but you're not dyslexic.
Yeah, part of it. Part of why I wish I could get them, but
physiognomy in times of stress, which ability came to him through many years of being a doctor and having to deal with stress and not always completely honest patients and relatives of patients, which was stupid because how was he supposed to treat people properly if they didn't tell him the truth about their symptoms and stuff? That's what you go.
Is it really just Ed?
Yes.
Yep. Now it's my line. Yes, Nance pronounced ponderously and with emphasis. Your father. Tell me, Miss Stevens, what can you tell me about your father?
Irene sat quietly for a minute and thought. Finally, she raised one perfectly golden arched eyebrow. What? Oh, she's blonde, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, And answered, not a lot, really. He was always sort of distant when I was growing up. He only ever really noticed me if I was bad. And then he only noticed enough to punish me. He was
a real baka.
I suppose you could say that's why I made a lot of the choices I made, why I wound up the way I did.
And now Zane's died a little inside.
She sighed, which made her already impressive cleavage try to leap for freedom out of the linen-bled prison of her suit jacket, and briefly made Arthur Nance forget completely about what he was. Yep, Arthur Nance forget completely about what he was going to say next, but then he remembered. That's nice.
I swear I heard you say Arthur.
Yeah, Arthur.
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 Arf. Arf, arf. Bark. Bork. Arf. Borf. Bark. Bork.
This is why I like cats.
Nya. Well, Miss Stevens, I have reason to believe that he was involved with a friend of your late. He paused, trying to think of a delicate way to put this, and then giving up because there really wasn't a way to put it. Your late boyfriend, Mr. Archer.
You think my daddy was involved with Henry? Irene exclaimed, jumping to her feet.
Daddy!
Alarmed in a way that Arthur didn't have to be a detective or a doctor or even someone who played one on TV to be able to figure out. It was that obvious.
Choke me harder, Daddy!
I guess you could say... no, never mind. I can't think of anything I was going to say.
Is it my turn? No, my
Yes.
dear? No, my dear?
Yes.
No, my dear, I didn't say that. I said he was involved with one of Mr. Archer's friends. A friend of mine named Roy Edwards. Sorry.
There was a silence, and all you could hear was the beep beep of hospital machines.
Beep, 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 beep.
Why does that make me laugh?
Yeah.
This suddenly made Nance realize that the office door was open, because otherwise he couldn't have heard the machines. And he rushed hastily over to close it, thinking, shit, what if somebody heard that? What if Bruce Lucid heard it? Of course, he hadn't gotten to the part that involved Bruce yet, but what if the brilliant young software designer had heard and somehow made the connections, even though Nance himself wasn't sure that what he suspected was anything more than the flimsiest of tissue paper rumors. That, Nance thought grimly to himself, would be a very, very terrible, no good, rotten, very bad thing.
Okay, quick thing. Okay, Bruce Lucid is a lot of things, but perceptive and smart are not.
I don't know. He
not
did
them.
make a groundbreaking software.
Yeah. Okay. That doesn't mean they're smart on other things. Like, seriously. Other than that, there has been no impressive feats of intelligence that I've seen with him.
Yeah, whenever... I'd like to bring up whatever people say whenever people try to compare two different characters from a different universe. Feats versus statements are two totally different things, and he's only been stated to make that. We've never seen him actually, work on it.
Well, that is one of the points I can give Death Battle, is the fact that it actually does go off evidence shown.
Death Battle. Next Death Battle, Bruce Lucid.
Oh, God. Bruce Lucid versus Truck. Truck wins.
Oh, for sure.
Speaking of trucks, the Optimus Prime versus Gundam battle was awesome.
Yes. Anyway.
Meantime, Irene's already porcelain pale complexion had gone completely dead white. You think Daddy was involved with Rory? She repeated through lips gone numb, like when you go to the dentist and the Novocaine gets into not quite the right spot.
Why is it that Tom gets stuck saying having to say daddy? Because that's twice now.
It's only dirty if you make it that way.
Daddy!
Harder, Daddy. I require more force.
What?
I think I heard what he said. I'm not going to repeat it.
I understood none of that.
That's fine.
Anyway, we're waiting on Zane's line.
God damn it. Where are we again?
Yes.
Where are me again?
Where are me again?
It's rubbing off. It's rubbing off to us. We should probably end the session soon.
Yes, stated Nance, shutting the door with a melodramatic click. And there's more.
More? Repeated Irene, sinking back into her chair.
More, Nance confirmed. This is what makes it also suspicious, you see.
No, I don't see.
That makes
She was
two
in
of
fact blind.
us.
You will, because Rory was in cahoots with the whole time with Isadore Trent.
What? Shrieked Irene. That stupid gender-confused ponytailed freak?
What?
Holy shit, he actually is trans.
What? Oh
Does
boy!
that mean that we should have been referring to Isadore as she the entire time?
Oh fuck, maybe.
Because now I feel like an asshole for not doing that.
Good, everyone in the store is an asshole. They deserve it.
Well, I'm not the one who used the word tranny. Yeah, one of the things you missed was Isadore being a woman for one chapter.
Yeah, I saw the opening line. I'm like, oh, we're gonna have a heyday with this one next session, and I missed that, and I'm a little disappointed.
Your bitch ass didn't show up.
Well, excuse me, I was stuck without Wi-Fi.
Well, excuse me, princess.
Excuse me, princess. Sorry.
No, you're not.
Never.
I just had like a picture in my mind where I was like that really small dude just copying like whatever the bully said.
Oh, great! So I'm the bully.
Yep.
It's only if it affects me. It really
Now
doesn't.
It's my turn though, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Now, Nance chided. That's no way to talk about someone. Isadori may have had some issues, but she's a person just like anyone else. He paused, and his chocolate brown eyes glazed over with memory as he remembered another person, so very long ago, who'd had the same issues and had been so cruelly taken away from him because of them.
Their name was Glenn, and then later Glenda.
Young people could be so cruel, especially young people still in school and surrounded by such incredible pressure to belong, conform, fit in with a group. Any group, just as long as they could say they fit in somewhere. Erin had folded her arms under her perfect melon-shaped breast and was glaring at him. Nance forced his mind back to the present and continued.
Did Arthur Nance just become the most reasonable, if not the most reasonable character in the entire series?
Apparently. Also, the fact that in this chapter they did refer to Isadora as she. Huh. Anyway, so I guess that's part of an arc that never got used. Interesting. This is what makes it all so damn suspicious, you see. Two men, one dies in a car crash, one survives a car crash, each has a friend. Bruce's friend is Isadora, and Henry's friend is Rory. Wow, amazing! They have friends! And a common person they each know. Your father, Irene. Isaac Stevens. The one meeting point of all this crazy insanity. And there's more going on than you could possibly guess. And your father was right there in the thick of it, connected to Isadora and Rory.
And now Arthur Nance has become a better detective than, what's his face? The detective who keeps getting distracted.
Andrew Innes.
Yep. Do you have any proof of any of this? Irene hissed, glaring at the doctor with hate quivering in her cerulean eyes.
That's not important. What?
Proof isn't important.
What is this? The president? Is he trying to run for presidency?
Oh shit! This is the episode where we suddenly get political.
What's important is that we learn the truth. Proof can come later.
I mean, after
You
all,
find the truth with proof.
After all, I could just claim that the doctor before me that had this office bugged my office in order to keep an eye on me for no real reason. I mean, we could always just say that that's what happened. Oh, God. Well, I did not believe a word of it. And what about you, Dr. Nance? You treated both Henry and Bruce. One of them lived and the other one didn't. How do I know you aren't the common point connecting it all?
That was actually a really good point that she made right there.
Not really, that's more just whataboutism. You know, Russian politics.
Yeah.
Well, everything bad I've done isn't that bad because these other people have done bad stuff.
Irene, you know that isn't true, Arthur murmured gently. I'm a doctor. My mission is only to heal. I only want to learn the truth, not hurt anyone.
Unless I have a gun in my
That sounds like a cover-up.
That just sounds suspicious.
Yeah.
Or get paid off by rich people to kill off the poorer people or the organ donors and have the rich people get their organs.
Now, this isn't the purge. We just want to kill poor people.
Suddenly, Irene burst into tears, flinging herself up against Arthur's manly chest and burrowing into its strength. I'm sorry,
She reached his heart and pulled it out.
She cried between sobs.
With her teeth.
I just don't want to believe it. Please, what are we going to do? And then they bone.
We'll do what we have to. Fuck, declared Nance, whose mind was now racing even as he held the sobbing young girl in his solid-toned arms. Already he was beginning to formulate a plan. A crazy plan! But he thought it might have a chance of working. And even if it did work, then everything would fall into place like a house of cards collapsing when you put just one card too many on top of the fragile structure. We'll find out the truth.
And the plot thickens. Yeah, no, I agree with that statement.